Welcome to the Four Fouls podcast. Tune in, don't foul out. Hey everyone, it's me, Brianna. Some people call me Bree. These four fouls do, but y'all don't get to. Y'all know how it goes. We have four quarters. Each quarter, you have the opportunity to get a point. The more points you get, you'll get to take the last word of the show. If you say something super outlandish, you're gonna get a foul. You don't want to get four, or you're kicked out. Let's get everyone introduced. Let's start with Cori.
What up? Hey man, I just want the Suns to win the chip.
CJ.
Yo, what's up? Going for the three-peat. Let's go.
Luis.
What's up, y'all? Just happy Messi finally has an international trophy. Warms my heart.
You being Messi.
And Devonte.
What's good, y'all? Shout out to Nigeria getting the dub, bruh.
Oh, wow.
So super excited about this first quarter because our super cool girl, Zayla Avant-Garde, became the first African American to win the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And after the win, she took the internet by storm, and people started finding out she's literally a basketball protege. So my question is this the most interesting 13-year-old in the world? Let's start with Devonte.
Yes. Y'all remember on Friday Night Lights when it's Pops, and he can pass, bro. That's literally what I thought about her as soon as I seen her on Overtime hooping. Stellar student, athlete, I guess we could say pretty much. I was already in shock, that she, won the spelling bee champ. That was super awesome. She had a word that you could not ask me right now because I would look crazy trying to spell that. And she did it. She got the dub. But then the next day, Twitter was just blowing up. I'm seeing she's trending. I click. She's hooping, and she not just no regular hooper, bro. She's really good at this, and I actually see her succeed in the net. And she said that spelling bee was a side hustle. So yes, this is definitely one of the most interesting, I would say, children, because she is, but preteens that's gonna be coming up in this world. So I'm super excited to see what she does next, and yeah, we're gonna keep tabs. Congrats.
Luis, what do you think? And I think the word was murray. It was actually derived from a Swedish name. Shout out to Sweden. Luis?
The more you know. No, I think she's amazing. To win the spelling bee one is an astonishing achievement, but to also have the handles, the buckets, the layup skills that she had, I didn't even have that at age 13. So
Still ain't got it.
Oh wow, that's what we're doing already. Let's get back to the show, right? Nah, she actually, so I did, she holds 3 Guinness World Records for trick dribbling. Wow. I saw her dribbling in a tricycle. And then she also appeared in a commercial with Steph Curry in 2018. So, I mean, she's honestly been on a huge trajectory and now puts her even more on the map. She did an interview saying she hopes to be an NBA coach, which is amazing. But if that doesn't work out, she wants to do gene therapy, which is really cool and needed. I mean,
13.
So amazing for STEMs, especially those of color. So happy for her.
Definitely. CJ, most interesting 13 in the world?
I'm good at everything I do. That's what she said to CNN after she won that spelling bee. Honestly, man, she ain't lying, bro. She is not lying. Everything that I've seen about her is that she's amazing. And I think just going past her basketball skills, she wants to attend Harvard. She said she at one point wants to work at NASA. She got dreams and aspirations, and I think she gonna excel at everything she does. So yes, absolutely.
And Cori.
If she was old enough to drink, I feel like she would have a Dos Equis sponsorship, because she is at the moment the most interesting 13-year-old in the world. I'm sure this is a hot story, and I hope we don't die off of it, but we will, right? Because that's how stories go. But there will be some 13-year-old in the next couple of months that create some sort of system that we all use. there's a lot of 13-year-old geniuses out there. And so I'm glad we're highlighting this one, and she's a black girl, and she's from New Orleans. Like, I feel like this is great. And she's already connected, which is great.
Shout
The
out
one
to
thing
Boo.
that I am hoping is that she stays connected to a support group, because young kids like her who have all the talent and the knowledge that she has and all the options that she's going to have, right? People are going to put pressure on her. She's going to put pressure on herself to become whatever she says she want to do. She want to do 18 different things. And I'm sure there are people out there lurking who are going to try to take advantage of her. So I hope she got people in her corner that's always going to make the right decision for her, help her choose what she needs to do for herself, or at least just protect her from these vultures out here. And I hope it just all comes into fruition. Like, I hope in 15, 20 years, we have never forgotten this moment because she stayed in our minds every single year. So shout out to her. We love to see it. I seen you at the ESPYs too. Stay hot. Ride that flame.
Makes me think, what was I doing at 13 years old? Oh my gosh.
Boy, I know that was
Power Ranger.
But speaking of vultures and people being a little messed up, it was announced earlier this month that the Bessemer Trust has resigned from the conservatorship of Britney Spears, stating that they were not aware Britney had not approved their involvement. So, should the I cannot say this word, conservatorship of Britney Spears continue? What do y'all think? Should it continue? Let's start with Luis.
It absolutely should not. Reading from it, I think this all came about in 2018 when she had an episode. I'm not clinically trained, so I don't want to missay it, but it basically gave the parents responsibility over her finances. And I'm sorry, I misspoke. 2008. Sorry.
I'm about to say.
Numbers, right? Math. But it gave full authority for her father to be the individual that controls her finances. Now, a lot of years later, we're still in the same dynamic. And I feel that she should be an individual who should be able to control her finances. And I think it's really a layered situation because so many hands and even the failures of the judicial system for a judge to say, well, let's go ahead and involve another party to continue to kind of control your finances. It's really messed up. So I think it should end. She should be able to live her life as an individual and freely. And she also said she doesn't like performing because of this. And I'm a big Britney Spears fan, so I love to see her perform, make some new music, and be that person. So if that's the one thing that's stopping her, yo, come on, let's get it.
Yeah, and she works really hard. She did a lot of her choreography and had a hand in everything. So, CJ, what do you think?
If this doesn't show that the system of conservatorships and things like that are very problematic for people with disabilities, this is I don't know what it will take for us to realize it. There are some cases where they are legitimately concerned for someone's well-being in order to protect them. Individuals who have dementia. Even some individuals who just aren't able to actually take care of themselves. To me, on this specific situation for Britney, it shows that just because you might have bipolarism, schizophrenia, things like that, doesn't mean that you can't control or take care of your own self. And that is a lot of what I've seen of the why behind things on this. Is because she apparently, she as Louis said, she had some episodes in 2008, but I don't see this as being something that was a 13-year needed practice to take care of her. And I think obviously as she's over here throwing everybody who should be dragged in the mud into the mud about this situation. And I understand now that the audio for the case going forward is going to be locked down because it leaked. That this is one where she's clearly being taken advantage of, and we need to remove those parties from this situation. So yes, please end this conservatorship.
Corey?
I think on a side note, as somebody who has researched and trained when it comes to counseling, therapy, and psychology, it is very important for people to understand. I think this is a perfect example. When it comes to mental health and then legalities, it is not easy to get out of something, because most stuff when it refers to mental health is indefinite, which means it's in somebody else's control. Even though on the outside looking in, we may think that Britney Spears looks much better, and maybe even she knows. But to me, this is the reason why I hate some aspects of the justice system is because like everything's based off precedent, right? They try to say, oh, well, we've done this before, or here's precedent here, or here's precedent there, and so we'll do this. So I'm sure the judges are maybe feeling like, oh, our hands are tied, right? Like I'm sure there has to be some judges out there who feel personally different, but you can't bring your personal stuff into the courtroom, right? Into the courtroom. So I hate this for her. I feel like there needs to be some sort of standardizing of, when you do this test or this assessment, this is how we're going to determine if you need to be off and are able to get out of this conservatorship. And also even like sometimes age limits and stuff like that. I think for a lot of times it somewhat makes sense for people who are older and are suffering from like dementia and stuff like that, and you have built a life earning and some wealth and a little bit of worth. And it makes sense to kind of protect that for them. And so that if they already had some estate planning, that they don't ruin that planning for the rest of their money. But as far as Britney Spears, she was an adult when it got put on. She's still an adult now. Like I don't understand why this is even an issue for them to like lift it up. So I can't really speak too much on it because I'm not really that well versed in it. But if Britney wants to be free, I'm with #free Britney.
Devonte, wrap it up.
Yeah, I will not be long. It's simple. Free Britney. She's pretty. I mean, what do you say? She's deserved? No, bro. This is just a human right. Like, let her have control of her own life. I do understand, when you're dealing with mental health, there's a lot of ties behind it. But last thing I'll say, I'm just really tired of seeing this happening to a lot of female artists. It's getting a little too consistent. And sadly, it's to a lot of people who have done so much to the music industry or done so much for the music industry. And I just simply want to see her live her life and be happy and in peace. So yeah, bring them out, Britt. Do what you got to do.
It is crazy that it has been going on for so long. So hopefully I think they're meeting July 14th. That's the next thing. So we'll see. Also, it's getting hot in here, y'all. Earlier in the week, the temperature in Death Valley, California hit 130 degrees. 130 degrees. This follows after weeks of historic highs in the Pacific Northwest. Places like Oregon reached 116. And let me just tell y'all, I was in Arizona for work one year. And the best metaphor from a person from Arizona, she said, it's like when you open an oven. Like, that's how hot it is. That's ridiculous. It would get to like 118. So anyway, what do y'all think? It's super hot. CJ, what do you think?
Oh, we got like 20 years left in this piece, right? Like, that's probably max, right?
What did Corey say last week? Yeah.
Check it out, Lisa.
Corey, make some shirts.
Listen. As many earth scientists will tell you, once we raise the average temperature, I think it's like literally 1 degree. This shit's over, and we're already like going past that. The picture, the meme, and where it's like, climate change is not real. Oh, I mean, okay, oops, my bad. Oh no. And then we're like at the like fuck, but everyone still believes it's like climate change ain't real. And it doesn't make any sense to me. So like I'm about to the point now where I'm just accepting it, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna go outside, get some tanner oil, you know what I mean? Just go. I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna look good. It's gonna get hot. It's not gonna cool down anytime soon. We live in Texas, so it's only gonna get hotter. So might as well just go and enjoy it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead. It's over. It's over.
Okay. So slight flex really quick. I'm in Sweden. Y'all know this. Ooh. And we went to the beach today, and the water is freezing because we're in Scandinavia. It's freezing. And my brother and sister-in-law, they were saying, oh, this is the warmest it's ever been. And I'm like, huh? So it's crazy what is happening to the world. Anyway, that's my side flex. Okay, Corey, what do you think?
CJ not wrong. The lease is up. Maybe not from the alien standpoint, but who knows? Even if you're religious and biblical, you know, the world may be resetting. God may be resetting. Maybe he said he wasn't gonna flood the world again, you know, but he ain't say he wasn't gonna cook us. So, you know, you never know. However, this is what I do kind of believe. I think that Earth is such a wonderful living organism. And I think that it'll find a way to balance itself out. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to end with casualty, right? But the hottest record ever for Death Valley was in 1913. So that was a long time ago. And now we're in 2021. So I'm not saying that temperatures don't fluctuate or that climate change isn't real, because it is. But I also think that Earth gonna do what it needs to do to continue to do what it needs to do. So that's pretty much my take on it. Because the aliens, they want it back, so they gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the aliens out there, they got the control, so they like, let me push the temp a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me push the temp, get them a little bit uneasy. And unlike CJ though, I'm not going outside. I don't give a damn about none of that. Ain't nobody putting on no damn tanning oil or nothing like that. I'm standing my ass in the air condition. My electric bill going up.
Devonte, what do you think?
Well, I'm not going to get all political because obviously trust the science, but that's all I'll say on that part, because that really annoys me that people don't. But, you know, hey, personal opinion. It's all good. Second, y'all said Death Valley like Louisiana?
Nah, bro.
Oh, definitely go ahead and tell me. Yeah, I thought y'all was talking about like,
bro.
But we are not talking about the rule, bro. We ain't talking about the
I was about to say,
bro.
hey, if you go to LSU, go ahead and enter that transfer portal because they out there cooking grits, bro. Like, but my bad. 130. That's hot. Yeah, it's hot too. That's really hot.
That's hot.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, boy. Ain't
Bro,
no
what?
way, boy.
Man, I'm really scared to come outside. I'm not going out there. No. That's all I'm going to say. Simple as that. That doesn't even sound realistic.
Hey, man, just to let you know, it's Death Valley National Park. Like, Death Valley's
I heard Death
between,
Valley,
like,
so I
California and
immediately
Nevada.
thought of LSU.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, go ahead and hit that transfer portal.
My man, a college fan, bro.
Y'all know,
My man-
Death Valley.
A real college fan.
I'm sorry.
He said Death Valley. He was like,
He said the only real Death Valley.
You out here tired of being hot,
The
sweating
chickens, bro. You
all
talking
in the
about the chickens,
videos, sweating on the
right,
field.
sweating all in the
Come to
videos.
Norman.
Come to Oklahoma.
Please take it over. What do you think?
Unlike Devonte, I'm gonna definitely get political. Hey, keep it down. Listen, when city governments got to provide hotel vouchers with families with small children, and to old people who don't have housing, and they're opening up cooling centers, yo, like, what are we doing?
What they supposed to be doing?
Say what you want about renewable energy. I just know for a fact, wholehearted fact, it has never caused a fire in the ocean. That has never happened. So we need to get it all together.
Bro.
I like it here. I ain't trying to go to Mars with them other
No,
rich
we
people.
came from Mars, bro. That's what happened, bro. We fucked Mars up.
Oh,
and
wow.
then we just sent it to Earth.
So we trying to go back?
Oh my God.
Can't be there, bro.
That's great, bro. Listen, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this ain't it.
Speaking of that fire, though, y'all gonna tell me that ain't like the beginning of a
Godzilla.
of a movie?
Godzilla.
Cthulhu.
Like,
It was
fucking-
Cthulhu,
yeah,
bro. He coming out that
It's like
bitch.
an opening to hell too, bro.
Yeah.
That mother look wild, bro. That mother look wild.
That wraps up our first quarter, y'all. So we're already on our second. Talking more about our sports news, since y'all are sports guys, of course. Sweet. The first one I have for you is on Saturday, past Saturday. Nigeria stunned the U.S. men's basketball team in an exhibition match. So this loss comes 2 weeks before the Olympics basketball tournament. Is this a cause for concern for the U.S. hopes for gold? Corey, what do you think?
It's a little bit of yes and no. Okay, let's be real. Like, hear me out. USA doesn't lose. When they do lose, though, so that's why it's concerning. When you see a loss, you're like, oh shit, they just lost. Like, because it's not common for them to lose. And then on top of that, they lost to Nigeria, who the last time when they played Nigeria, they pretty much beat the brakes off of them. It was like 158 or something. Like, it's just, come on now. They took it personal, right? They saw the Jordan Last Dance, and the whole Nigerian team said, and I took that personal. And they came back. Now, mind you, there were certain people who weren't playing. It did kind of like they was kind of being lazy. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily lazy, but they wasn't like playing. They wasn't like hooping. So I'm not too concerned. However, I think it's a little bit if they don't gel. Like, if Team USA don't gel, it's gonna be like the team that went and they lost, right? Then they had to come back with the redeem team. But the level of competition is better than it used to be. So USA better not go in slouching, because Luka Doncic and everybody else go look at them like, hey, we can hoop, bro. It ain't like it used to be, where y'all should come in and cakewalk through everybody. We'll hoop and we'll get a game from you, and that's really all you need. So I got faith in our black men of the United States Basketball League. I don't have faith in Kevin Love, but I got faith in our black men, so we're gonna be straight.
Devonte?
Shout out to the Roots. Them boys. Nigeria got
amen.
the dub, bro. I turned on that game. I'm like, let me just see KD drop 40 on them. The score was tied, 52-52. I was actually late watching the game, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit in front. Like, I was just like, oh, bro, I know Nigeria getting this dub. Then I started really looking up, who they had on the team, and they hoopers. They really are good. They've built this team for so long now, and so you can't take them for a joke. I will say though, this might have helped ratings, because now it's like, will the USA really get bounced like this? Like, is they not going to be that competitive like we think they are? We got Luka out there hooping. Italy is actually a decent team this year. So hey, I mean, it's all good for the sport. But I will say though, I will be rooting for Nigeria now. Period. I'm just saying. It's just there.
I would the roots, bro.
It's in the roots.
I think they my second root.
I got the flag hanging up and everything. So we ready. We ready to go.
He do.
Let's get it.
He do.
Let's get it, Nigeria. I mean, the 3-point shooting was amazing. They had KD cold. Jason Tatum wearing 10 looking confused. I mean, it's a lot going on. So good luck, USA. It's above me now.
Louis?
Go get LeBron.
LeBron could never.
Oh my. Luis, what do you think? Is it a concern?
No, it's not. Nigeria, it's an exhibition game. Y'all, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Listen, Nigeria 9 years ago lost by 83 points. 5 years ago, they lost by 43 points. Nigeria just wanted it more. Nigeria has 7 current NBA players, and they're coached by Mike Brown.
Oof.
Mike Brown,
Say it again.
an NBA coach.
Bro, that's why it would be.
And on top of that, hold on. This is the crazy thing. They hit 20 threes. 20.
So you're telling me in 9 years they got better. Every time they played, they got better. So they went from losing to 80, losing to 40, and then winning. They have more players in the league, and they have an NBA coach, and that's not concerning?
Hold on. Let me give you the flip side, though. They played physical.
What is going on?
And the American team played extremely heavy isolation. Heavily.
Yeah.
They haven't played together, and then on top of that, they're 2 weeks away from Olympic. These are exhibition games. They haven't played together. They're going to start passing the ball. They were 9 of 30 for threes. They were depending on just spot-up shooting. So it's not concerning. Nigeria might be a good team, but come on now. Concerning for the U.S., who's been 54-2 in exhibition matches since 1992? Stop it.
That's what I'm saying. So when they lose, it's even more. You see what I'm saying? They should not have lost. But anyway.
I mean, they should have not, but, just like Conor McGregor last night. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Too soon.
CJ, is it a concern?
Anytime the team that you previously beat, as Luis was talking about, by 80 points and then 40 points comes back to beat you, you should be like, that wasn't really a good game for us. But I mean, it's the U.S. They're still the 750 favorite to win the gold. That's a really, if you don't know betting stats, that's a really big number to be the favorite at. So I don't know if I'm really super worried about them. I will say, as to Cori's point, yeah, man. I mean, the field is stacked this year. You got teams like Australia, Spain, France, who just got NBA talent that is legitimate, that will compete against you. And I could definitely see like a very young, hungry Slovenia team who I feel like has probably the best player for this kind of basketball, because European rules are different. FIBA rules are different than NBA. Mm-hmm. And Luka Doncic was the MVP in the league, in which like that's the top competition for these kind of rules. So like he gonna put up some numbers. And I know just looking at this, man, like it's gonna be a crazy ass tournament. I do believe I agree with Devonte that it's gonna be a tournament. It's gonna be competitive. I don't think the US is going to blow out everybody that they play against. I do think that they still are the favorites to win the gold, but it's going to be competitive. And if you get someone like Spain, who I think has the best shot at upsetting the US in the finals, you better bring your A game, or you're probably gonna lose. To be 100 with you, like you cannot play isolationist basketball against Spain. They will fuck you up. So,
I will say though, I love Pop as being the head coach because he calling them out on their bull, bro. Like, oh no, we needed that whooping. We needed that because now you about to get a pissed off KD, who's getting all this trash talk from everybody that he getting bounced here and there. He gonna hoop, but I'm still rooting for Nigeria.
He better get a goal. Yeah,
they got no choice. Actually.
CJ, you brought up how rules are different. You know what else rules they're trying to figure out right now? The cannabis restrictions in sports, because that whole thing happened this past Friday about how the U.S. has reached out to the World Anti-Doping Agency in order to seek an easing cannabis restrictions in sports. We all know what happened recently with track, and that's just, so my question is it time to stop the ban on marijuana in sports? Let's start with Devonte.
Yes, we are so late. We are so behind. It's probably not the best choice to do during sporting events. Like when you know you're about to perform, probably not. Is it a good... It's so hard, bro, because people use it to heal. I mean, they use it for so many ways, and I hate to just sit there and try to label it as something because it should be a free thing, and that people shouldn't be judged or drug tested for it, especially when you're still performing well. But I mean, it can't be just like it just can't be sitting there like chained on to the sports culture. It's so ridiculous how it's ruining a lot of things, and it's making people look like they're making terrible choices. And sometimes 9 times out of 10 it's for healing. And so, people use it in different ways, and I definitely ain't got nothing against no marijuana, I promise you. But we obviously gonna have to regulate it a lot better than we are now, because it's starting to make it look like the U.S. has a huge like marijuana problem. And I'm a little tired of it. I really am. Shakir should be running. And that's just my personal opinion on that. But at the end of the day, the rules are rules. But we need to go ahead and change that and get that worked out real quick. We need to catch up with the Joneses. So
I saw this tweet that said marijuana never made anyone perform faster or better, and I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, Luis, what do you think?
Honestly, I gotta call out. Got to call out the U.S. government real quickly, because this is about to get really interesting. So as I was doing some research on anti-doping policy, did you guys know that the World Anti-Doping Agency, the NBA, the NFL, the NCAA, the MLS, the MLB, and the UFC all banned the use of marijuana? Do you guys want to take the guess of the one league that doesn't ban marijuana? Or I shouldn't say doesn't ban, does not include within their policies. Just take a wild guess for me.
MLB?
No, I said the...
Oh, my bad. NHL? I don't fucking know.
Listen, that's your problem. Nah, so you gonna send a memo to the World Doping Agency, but not to the MLB, NFL, NCAA? None of those? I just think that's pretty trash. But we also have to think about domestic and international context too. Domestically, 31 states have legalized medical use while 9 have legalized recreational. Oftentimes, those policies are not reflective of international policies. So we also have to say, hey, you know, we got to take a step back. Now, oh my goodness, I got to share with y'all the 3 things that they said. So the anti-world, I'm sorry, because this shit is hilarious to me, honestly. The World Anti-Doping Agency classifies a substance if it satisfies 2 out of the 3. Number 1 being represents an actual or potential risk to the athlete, potentially enhances the sport performance, or violates the spirit of the sport. I just don't know if marijuana violates any of those 3, but that's just me.
Damn.
I digress.
Okay.
Damn.
CJ? Is it time to ban?
Yes. I mean, listen, Luis pointed out a bunch of leagues that ban the use of marijuana. NFL is probably going to overrule it here in the next couple of years. Actually, I think have started to have that conversation. I think they might already passed that rule, as well as I think UFC, because the Nevada Athletic Commission has now decided that they're no longer going to penalize athletes who use marijuana. So it's slowly changing, and I'm going to say, for the sake of the U.S., when you have like 17 of your states who have legalized the use of marijuana recreationally and or for medicinal usage, you probably need to ask the question of anti-doping agencies, as well as IOC and other international sporting commissions, all leagues, all the things, to maybe let's layer it back. But you should probably pass the federal law in which you decide to overturn that first, right? Maybe that should be the first thing you should do, because honestly, once you do that, then you have a little bit more stake in the game. You can say like, hey, all of our fucking states can use this. So y'all gonna need to be cool with it. Otherwise, we ain't gonna have any athletes in any of y'all sports. So I don't know. I would rather my athlete not pop pills. That's kind of the bottom line with this.
That's real.
I would rather them not pop pills, and I think marijuana is not. I'm not gonna sit here and try to claim that this is like the best thing for your health or anything like that, but it's not popping pills and getting addicted to fucking Vicodin or any other things that you use for pain management. So yeah, I would go ahead and try to alleviate or end the ban on marijuana in sports.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready for Cori to go.
Cori? Yeah, ready to hear
So if you do not know, I spent a lot of time doing research on cannabis for the job that I was doing in violence and prevention, specifically when it comes to drug and alcohol abuse. First and foremost, I do want to inform you all and all of our listeners that I don't use the word marijuana because it has very racist terms. Very racist history. So I will always use like street words like weed or cannabis because that's what it is. So here's the thing. Here's my thoughts on it when it comes to sports, specifically even with the anti-doping. Maybe because of federal laws and stuff like that, maybe they don't release the ban, right? Maybe they just restrict it, right? You can move something from banned to restricted. We talk about something like caffeine or something like that. Those are like restricted. So like the CBA for NFL, they changed in 2020 to where they changed the testing periods, and they also changed the amount that you can have in your system before it becomes a violation. So I think that maybe that's a little bit more sensible and reasonable for these athletes, because I don't think it's reasonable that the government's just and everybody else is going to just like release the ban. Like that's probably just not going to happen. So maybe we start with restricted. And the thing about it when it comes to cannabis is that cannabis is really hard for you to define what it is, because it acts as a depressant, but it also acts as a stimulus, right? A stimulant. It also acts as a hallucinogenic. So it acts as all these things that could potentially, maybe it doesn't give you the edge, but it gives you the feeling of the edge. It gives you more energy. If this person smoked one strain, they feel a little bit more down, and this one smoked this other strain, they feel a little bit more up. Maybe it affects performance. I'm sure there would probably be a lot of studies that have to go on for them to prove that is the thing. So that's what I want to see. I want to see studies on athletes who use cannabis, right? So that's what we need. Maybe restrict it, but I want to see those longitudinal studies on that. Go ahead, CJ.
To that point, though, we cannot have any studies until that shit is actually overturned. So
well, you can though. Not necessarily.
Not on athletes. Not on
in
athletes.
America. Yeah, you can.
Well, yeah, okay.
Think about it.
If you're talking about internationally wise, but like American
that's
wise,
what I'm saying.
Any competitive
Right, American
athlete.
wise, no, yeah.
No,
But if we're talking international, there's plenty of athletes out there that in places where cannabis is legal. So, use those athletes as a study. I mean, athlete is an athlete. So if we can try to test and really see, is this the thing that is going to actually give somebody an edge, much say like human growth hormones and steroids and things like that. And if it doesn't, then either release the ban or just restrict it to where there are certain levels and you can't necessarily be high during the event or something. Plenty of people smoke. I listen to All the Smoke podcast all the time with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and they literally talk about how their entire career, every game they were high.
Percy Harvin.
And they won chips. Like come on,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Like it's not. People can definitely do this. And I know people, and I played with people who were high all the time, and they were great athletes. So I don't know if it gave them an advantage. Maybe I should have smoked when I was playing.
Right, it would be some of the best athletes that did that, and so I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to like make it like it's just a straight demon type of drug. I get what CJ was saying though, like we can't just sit there and make it look like we're gonna glorify, because there are people who have had downsides of it and who have suffered, some really like strained relationships. Like it just, certain people are addicts, and I get that, but I would rather have my athletes and my people doing that versus pills, period, or alcohol and just getting addicted and things like that. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot more to it, but however you got to regulate that, we need to figure it out. So.
Well, while they're trying to figure that out, something that the NCAA is accepting or starting to accept are deals from third-party sponsors outside of the institution they attend. So this got our team thinking, right, y'all? That what former college athlete would have made the most money from endorsements had the NCAA never disallowed such a thing from happening? Let's start with Luis.
So I thought about a couple of players, but if I had to pick the most, I would have to say Reggie Bush. I think Reggie Bush would have been paid left and right, especially the way USC was performing back in the day. Another notable mention would probably be O.J. Simpson. OJ would definitely be paid. Johnny Manziel, Vince Young.
Hey man,
Damn, you naming everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
come on,
my
man.
bad.
One. Foul this
notable
man
mention.
immediately.
Not immediately. Thank you. Pivot.
Okay.
Hey, this is an arguing show. Now let me give y'all the stats. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, that's all I got.
CJ?
all right, man, you gonna go ahead and say Johnny Manziel? You know what? Hey, I actually think that this answer should have been Tim Tebow though, because I mean, the endorsements would have been coming from everywhere. Gatorade, you talking about? Fuck, Fox News probably would have reached out to him and been like, "Hey man, you want to get a little sponsorship?" But like, I'm being for real though. Like his cult following is deep. I mean, to the point now that he's gotten practically a roster spot, potentially a roster spot, I should say, on the Jaguars just off of fandom alone. I think that to me speaks to what he was in college, which was just a phenom for the sport, but also a character that people got behind in a way that like he would have been raking in the money. But I definitely could concede that like Reggie Bush and Johnny Manziel, who are already making money under the table, by the way, would have just got above the table and been making a lot more money on that end. So, you know what I mean?
Johnny had money though.
Johnny had money, but I do
Not
not
that
think
matters,
anybody
though.
forgets the autograph signing, the helmet situation he got into.
Oh, yeah.
Cori, what's your former college athlete?
Me. I'm just joking. I probably would have got one of them local deals. You know what I'm saying? Like a car wash or something. I definitely say it had to be. It would in the way that college football is so very exciting, right? College sports are just very exciting. So whoever is the most exciting player is the ones who are going to get paid the most. So you're talking about a Johnny Manziel. I could see Baker getting up in the top 20 of like highest paid college players. Whoever is going to bring in the biggest draw. Like when Johnny was playing at A&M, every game was sold out. Okay, every game was lit. It was primetime TV. They were like flexing games so that he was getting in a primetime. Like he was just making stuff happen. It was just Showtime, Johnny, Magic. Like it was crazy. So you can't tell me that he wasn't gonna make bucks, like big bucks.
Boy, if Barstool was bigger back then, bro. Oh my
gosh, yeah, bro. He would have been the Barstool athlete, like the face of all of that. So I also think that maybe at the time, possibly Bo Jackson, and that would have been kind of groundbreaking because I think in the 80s, maybe he's not as like super popular just being like a black male, but he was such a super athlete and he was very exciting and Auburn was popping. So I think Bo Jackson definitely could have because he rode that high into his professional sports. So that means he had connections, a good network, and good popularity. So I think it's either Johnny or Bo Jackson for me.
Yeah,
Devonte, who do you have?
Go ahead, Lou, real quick.
Sorry, Luis.
No, go ahead, Devonte, because I want to make, because my comment is I'm surprised no one has mentioned such and such. So go ahead, Devonte.
Okay, so first, obviously, it is Johnny Manziel. The man, y'all done heard everybody what they had to say, bro. Like, this man brought so much money to that school. You look up numbers, bro, it is insane of like certain games and things that were sold out, television that they got put on. Like, bro, they were playing A&M games or updating scores in my high school football games. That's insane, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro, that man he made NCAA football popping. So that's in the football aspect. But somebody we are forgetting in college basketball who would have been getting them bucks, bro. Jimmer Fredette. Oh my God, bro. Jimmer would have been getting paid. That man was on ESPN more than any basketball player I have ever seen playing college basketball, bro. And he was just pulling up. Like, I mean, that was great shots. I mean, but he made the atmosphere nice. He made BYU basketball on the map at that time. The man really would have got paid, and he would have deserved it because obviously his career didn't pan out as the greatest as it should have been. Probably more on the development aspect of that. But man, the man would have got paid and would have deserved every single penny because that's just what a lot of these athletes do. So yeah, those are my two people: Johnny Football for football, obviously, and then Jimmer for the basketball. But one last question: Do y'all think Bron?
Yes.
Do y'all think Bron would have went to college if that wasn't a rule back in the day?
Nah.
No.
You don't pass up NBA money for endorsement money.
He still would, yeah.
You gonna get the endorsements at the NBA.
Yeah, right. Because you're still not getting paid. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm about to say. You're still not getting paid at NCAA.
That
so you
image,
can get paid and endorsements. You know.
Yeah.
Now, but speaking on that, there was a 16-year-old basketball player that just signed a multi-million-dollar contract too.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the agency. So you're seeing high school athletes, getting these endorsements. But the one player I'm really surprised no one mentioned is actually Deion Sanders.
Ooh.
Prime time.
I thought about it.
Prime time.
Like, he was getting money under the table.
And anybody from Miami?
But that's why, like, because he was. What years was he in college? Let me look it up real quick.
It was a minute ago. Good long time.
Yeah, he was in college.
I mean, if we talk about Miami, it would have been Warren Sapp over Deion Sanders to me, because Warren Sapp at the U was fucking great. I mean, I know anybody watch Young Rock.
Yeah.
Boy, Uncle Luke would have been bad.
Uncle Luke.
Uncle Luke wasn't even allowed to do stuff back in the day. That's funny.
But yeah, I think Deion would have been great.
But
I didn't even think about Tim Tebow, honestly.
Yeah,
and
Tebow didn't even cross my mind.
That. All demographics would have loved
but it's because he always made that image of like, it's all about just the game.
It was that speech. He was like, I will never work harder than anybody in life.
Bro,
tearing up. And I was like,
the reason why I would push against Deion, you imagine in college, Deion was like the 80, 87, late 80s, early 90s. Late 80s. Let's say late 80s. He's always been flashy.
Mm-hmm.
bro, and this is no offense, these white people they own these companies. They not putting Deion in, like as a, you know what I'm saying?
I can see exactly where you're going with that.
At that time, they think he a hoodlum, so they ain't paying Deion. They'll pay somebody like Bo Jackson before they pay
Florida though. Like
Deion.
that's back pocket. You know,
but
like
still,
you can say
like,
the same thing about Miami in the early '90s and
but he wouldn't
he's a
like.
brand.
But that's what I'm saying. He would get the local stuff.
Yeah.
You be representing a brand, right? So he get the local deals, but we talking about people who gonna get these national deals too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think nobody gonna give Deion at that time, right? Like Deion Sanders, yeah, you cold, but you also around when there's other cold people in college, and I'm sure they like, oh, he got loose lips. He one of these hoodlums.
What was that? What was that linebacker from Oklahoma?
Which one? Boz?
Yeah, Boz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would have been.
But my thing is
too.
like Deion wasn't. I mean, Deion was definitely a talker, and everybody They did not accept his image. He was too much for a lot of people. But apparently, to a lot of people behind closed doors, he was a businessman 24/7. Though he just it was just like, if it wasn't about getting me where I need to be, I'm not about to. Yeah, you can. What did he say? A team called him and said, "Oh yeah, y'all not gonna be there when I'm available." Or something. I was like, oh yeah, he's strictly about business, bro. So.
Well, y'all, that wraps up our second quarter. Unless anyone has something last to say. No, we're good. Okay. So third quarter, y'all know, is my favorite quarter. Fact or cap. And the first one I have for you is on Saturday, the LA Dodgers destroyed the Arizona Diamondbacks 20-1. Despite that win, they still see themselves 2 games back from first place in the NL West, behind the San Francisco Giants. The NL West is the only division with 3 teams with over 50 wins. So my question is, the 2021 World Series champions will be a team from the NL West. Fact or cap? Let's start with, who did I start with last? Did I start with Devonte last? Let's start with Luis.
You started with Luis.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just started with Luis.
Okay, let's start with CJ.
Back to back. Oh,
You gonna start with me?
Okay,
All
start
right,
with CJ.
cool. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Facts, absolutely facts. And I'm not. You know what? I will say. Obviously, I'm a Slam Diego fan, so don't get on me about that. I think though. They're probably gonna end up in the wild card. So it's probably gonna be between me, the Giants, and the Dodgers, because I think that race is gonna get real tight come August. I absolutely think that when it comes to just the best baseball this season, it's come from the NL West. I mean, as I said, Slam Diego is hitting the seams off of balls, and the Giants have the second best pitching staff to me in the NL, but it's behind the Dodgers, who's in the second place in the NL West. So to me, it's like everything right there. Everything right there is coming to form when it gets to the playoff season, because postseason is all about, can your offense perform in the tense moments, and can your pitching staff, sorry, that was a little stuttering moment right there, and can your pitching staff actually keep form when they need to. So I think that's where we're going to see the champion this year.
Corey, fact or cap?
I'm gonna say it's fact. It's either coming from there or the AL East. Honestly, the Dodgers won last year. They're looking great again, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they played against Tampa Bay last year, right? Tampa Bay looking good. So much hasn't necessarily changed. Like you even if you lose people, this is what I've never understood about some people when we talk about sports. Even if you lose people, and somebody says, "Oh, you still have like the same makeup of the team." If I lost a CJ on my team, but I got a player that was like CJ, I didn't really lose CJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it fits in the team and everything's still working, we never really lost CJ. We lost CJ, but we feel somebody in this spot who's giving the same production. And I feel like the teams in the NL West are doing that, and then the teams in the AL East are doing that as well. So, as a Rangers fan, I think our time is going to be a while until we get back to that. So we kind of squandered our chances when it was, I would still pull up to the games, and I'm going to one later on this month. But, man, yeah, I think it's fact.
Devonte, fact or cap? Will it be from the NL West?
I'm gonna just say fact, because if it ain't Rangers, they some strangers, bro. I don't know what else to say. So, facts.
Put that on the
Those are really good.
We'll be back though. It's gonna be
Copyright that now. Luis, fact or cap?
I'm gonna say cap. Although they are playing great baseball, I think there's two teams that are dark horses for me, and that is the White Sox and the Yankees, and they're playing exceptional baseball right now. And I think, I just have a feeling that the Dodgers, but just might not. The additions that they're having are great, cool, all that. But Yankees are playing great baseball, and the White Sox, just with their youth, I think they're just gonna get it. Honestly, I'm rooting for the White Sox. I don't know why.
Are the White Sox a dark horse?
I don't think
would
the
say
White
so.
Sox are a die horse. But the Yankees might not even get into the wild card, bro.
They've been doing that the last few seasons, man.
I mean, with the White Sox, aren't they leading their?
The White Sox
leading
have
their
the
division?
two favorites in the Cy Young race right now. They are
Yeah,
not
I'm about to
underdogs.
say.
They are
I don't
not
think
underdogs.
dark horse.
Like,
That's just good
I just don't think
performance,
they're gonna
though.
make it out. Yeah, I just don't think they're gonna make it out.
I'm just saying, from historically,
But I feel you.
after everything that the White Sox have gone through in the last couple of seasons to be in the position they are now, that's a dark horse in my book. We can
all
talk
right.
about
I'll
the
take it.
single season, but
I'll take it.
thank you.
Well, the next one I have for y'all is the LA Angels pitcher Shohei Ohtani launched his league-leading 33rd homer of the year, 463 feet into the top deck of the park. So my question is, while it's T-Mobile Park, if you want to be specific. So the question is, while it's likely that he will win the AL MVP, if he stays healthy this year, is he the best baseball player in the world? Fact or cap, Corey?
Please go CJ first. No, I'll go CJ first. I gotta hear CJ first because we were talking about this earlier. And,
Okay, CJ.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, to me, yes. I think Shohei is the best baseball player in the world. Hitting 279, batting average, just say 364 on base, and 700 slugging, around 700. It's like 697 right now. Dude is a beast. He's cranking out home runs left and right. He got an on base. He got a OPS of 1.064. And he's just killing it, bro. He's just killing it. To me, when you drive in 64 runs by he's driven in 70, but 64 of those 70, him himself has walked across the plate. That is amazing. And he's doing that while also going upwards of 84, 85 strikeouts right now. He's doing it on both sides of the plate to me. I mean, he's killing it. He's killing it. And I think, obviously this is a very interesting year because at the beginning of the year we were talking about how hitters can't get any hits right now. They looking real struggling and shit. And this shit has turned around. It has turned around. And it's looking like the one person who's been really consistent with that shit has been Shohei. And so I would say yes. Just because he's just the full picture. I mean, anybody who, when you're a two-way player, you kind of get a little bit of that advantage because not everyone's a pitcher on the other side of the park. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Corey,
I think he's the best player. Sorry about that.
Hey, here we go. Ring the bell.
Oh, we're ringing the bell, Corey?
Ring the bell.
I don't know if we need to ring the bell. But
started.
here's what I'll say. What the hell? What? The best player in the league? Mm-hmm. Nah, bro. This is all right. This is how I see it. I think that is very, and there's got to be some sort of bias to this, right? It's not recency bias. It's we have to take into account that he's pitching as well, as if other people don't play defense, right? So oftentimes we don't take into account how great a defensive player is. We only really talk about defense, right? So we get slided toward pitchers. So we think pitchers are better players often than what they really are. Pitching is not easy. I get it.
Out,
but here's what I will say. He's not even the best batter. You were talking about him slugging home runs, and yes, but there's people who have better on-base percentage. People have better slugging percentages. He only has 83 hits, though he has 33 home runs. He only has 83 hits. He doesn't have the most
How many
RBIs.
at-bats
He
does he
probably
have compared
won't.
to the person who's leading at-bats right now, Corey?
Okay, so he's at 299. Vladimir Guerrero has 316, so not that many more. It ain't like it's a huge gap.
Okay, I understand.
So he's still
who's leading
balling,
in home runs despite not having the most at bats, and who
Nice,
doesn't
but he
see the
doesn't have the most
plate?
hits.
Who doesn't see the plate?
So when he
as
hits
much
the
as
ball,
other
okay.
guys.
So check this out. He also has 98 strikeouts.
Okay.
So he strikes out a lot.
Yes.
He either hitting a home run or he's striking out. That means that makes you it makes you exciting. Doesn't make you a great player. That makes you exciting. I'm not saying he's not good because he is good. Obviously, he's playing great baseball. But you have to be well-rounded in everything. You can't just be knocking out home runs and be like, oh, it's cool. But when you get up there, if you got 3 at-bats, 2 of them you striking out and 1 of them you hitting the home run, so we think that you good. Nah, bro, you got to be getting on base. You got to have more hits. Come on, bro. It's more than just that. And pitching-wise, how many games have you pitched, bro? He hasn't pitched that many games.
I think he's going into his 11th this next week.
10.
11th start.
Come on, bro. So it's not that he's not pitching a lot of games. So
I understand, but he's leading his
it's
team in
just-
strikeouts though, too. This is where I'm trying to get at, right? Like, I understand your points. I understand that, you have to be well-rounded in all facets of the ball to be considered the best baseball player in the world. To me, though, when you got a guy who his coach already says he doesn't even take batting practices, bro. He just goes in that shit and hits. Like, that to me tells you right there, if he's able to do the shit that he's doing at the plate without taking any batting practice, that man is probably the best hitter in the game right now because he's spending most of his time practicing.
He's the best hitter as a pitcher.
Huh?
So he should practice.
He's the best hitter as a pitcher. And I think that's what it is, bro. I think, and maybe he should. Maybe he's that's what he's the best hitter as a pitcher. And we think when we see pitchers, we never see them hit. So I think that when we see this man hitting these balls, we like, oh, he got to be GOAT status. He's great.
There are very few people who are hitting the ball 463 feet. Very few.
So he's powerful.
He is powerful. And he's able to do that consistently. No, but he's able to do that consistently. His ability to get the ball in the air compared to a lot of people who don't have to spend the other half of their time pitching. By the way,
but they have to spend the other half of their time defending. They play every single game.
I understand that. I understand what you're trying to say, but it's different, bro. It's not the same thing. When you're talking about pitching, it takes more out of you than fielding. It does. That's the reason why pitchers.
I'm not arguing that either.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not arguing that either. But if he's a pitcher in the DH, right?
Yes.
There's some games where he only batting.
Okay.
But there's other games where if I'm playing outfield, I'm running and fielding every single game.
Okay.
So you can argue that my legs shouldn't be actually even under me as much as a pitcher should. If I'm not pitching, I'm just DHing.
Yeah, but your arms do. What do you mean? Like the thing is like. Bro,
the power is generated from your legs.
We're going tit for tat on this right here. It's kind of what do you want to see in a player to me? To me, huh?
I said he wins.
Excuse me, Luis? Okay.
Luis, from somebody who didn't even know there was 100 plus games, you had 81 games? Oh, boy, what you talking about?
Wait, what you
Nah, but we're not listening to your baseball takes.
I'm just saying, it's not tit for tat. I'm just not tit for tat, bro. That's all I was trying to say, bro. That's all I was trying to say. Go ahead, CJ. I'm sorry, my bad.
I don't think he the best. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that makes him a better player than most just because he can hit it far. If the home run wall is 300 feet and I hit it 300 feet and he hits it 450, does my home run count any less?
No, it doesn't. And I'm not trying to make it seem like it doesn't. I'm just saying when it comes to who's going up to that plate and who I can consider is going to probably hit the home run, more likely is going to come from Shohei than anybody else in the AL to me. Obviously, because he's leading in home runs in the first place. But like, I get what your point. I get what your point is, and I don't necessarily disagree with you because it is pretty It's like to me, it's what's your opinion on how the best players are made up, and I think someone who can pitch as efficiently as he can and bat in the same way that he is. To me, I haven't seen that shit ever in my lifetime. Ever. To me, in my lifetime, I've never seen that. So yeah, Luis, what are you making that face for? Have you ever seen a pitcher
let Luis go.
hit like that?
Let Luis go, bro.
Why
Go
am I
ahead.
living in your-
Luis Factor Cap.
Well,
you just made that face. Don't act.
CJ's fact, Cori's cap.
Cap.
Luis, what are you?
I'm gonna say cap. Here comes CJ.
Because
I'm not gonna go further. I'm waiting for you to say some shit. You just said it's a
No, I just think there's better baseball players in my opinion. I honestly love to see Acuna play.
I think he's a great torn, so he's
and
not playing.
I understand that, but until up to
I'm just saying he just tore his ACL yesterday.
You done,
2
bro?
days ago, sorry.
You done?
Please.
You good, bro? You want to get something outside your
Who
chest?
hurt you?
Please.
I was just saying. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
we got you, bro.
Man, listen, Cap, go Devonte.
Yeah, y'all think I'm about to say something? Cap? Yeah, Cap, because it just sounds like he's just hot right now. That's all it is. Good story. That's pretty dope though. He pitching and batting. I ain't never heard of that.
It is dope.
That's pretty cool. But
I will
didn't
say,
CJ say Tatis
I thought you were
Jr.
talking about
was the
Tatis.
greatest
Yeah,
player?
Exactly.
Whoa,
A couple weeks
Ever?
ago, that was his player. That was
Actually,
his
it's on wax.
Can y'all first of all,
Here we go.
don't even. That shit was like, that was, I said he is the GOAT in the making. I did not say that he was the best player in the world at that moment. I said
think
he's the GOAT in the making. And by the
I
way,
think he better
he's
right
a
now than your
favorite.
boy.
He's a favorite in the NL to win the MVP. So is Shohei. They're both favorites to win the MVP in both their division or their.
That's what I'm saying.
leagues.
I'm
So,
surprised
like,
you didn't pick Tatis
Yeah.
like overall.
No.
I'm picking Tatis overall.
I listen. I'm trying to tell you that they're both really good, and Tati has been DHing a lot over this past month or two. So like they're both pretty much focusing on batting and stuff like that. I legitimately see Shohei though being the best batter and with the best other side of his game put together than anybody else, and that's why I'm saying that.
CJ,
So-
can you be my
We'll
lawyer, bro?
see, and
That's crazy.
we'll see.
You don't want
And
that, bro.
but Devontae's right. Devontae's right. That is really dope that he, did that. You know what else is really dope? The Argentina national team won the Copa American tournament. So my question is, after finally getting over the international tournament hump, Messi and the national team, because it's not just Messi, will they make a run for gold in the Olympics? Fact or cap, Devonte?
Fact. Got one of the greatest players of all time ever on the squad. So, yeah. That's simple. I ain't going against that man. That's like a Brady effect almost. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Luis?
Really? Really? Because it's a Tom Brady comparison?
Why are we shady?
That's just lazy.
That's the
I'm
goat.
being shady today.
That's the
I'm
goat.
being shady as fuck today.
Listen, Italy hasn't lost 30-some games and won the Euro. So I'm just gonna put that out there. And Messi's he's a great player, one of the greatest of all times. And in my opinion, he's not the greatest of all time, but he is one of the greatest of all time. Messi struggles internationally because he doesn't have the supporting cast that he has in Barcelona. That's just where I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put that there.
CJ? Fact or cap?
I will say cap. I have Brazil repeating.
That's just
They won it in
reckless.
2016, and they are a slight. They're a slight favorite to win this tournament, and I think that they'll put it together. They got to the finals in Copa America, and I think they'll go into form. And the Olympics is the big goal, so I can see them getting it.
Corey, wrap it up.
If the question is make a run, then this is fact. However, I don't know if they will bring home the gold, but I agree with Luis. I don't think that they have their supporting cast isn't that great. They do have like what they got Sergio Aguero though, right?
Yeah, Di Maria. They have some pieces.
They got Di Maria. Yeah. They got like some pieces, but like
Ohtani at the at the defense.
I really gotta watch it. But I feel like other teams are a bit more complete, if that makes sense. But hey, I said that shit for another team and they lost, so I don't know. Like I don't know what I'm talking about.
If it's France,
I think they'll make a run. But I don't think they'll win it all. I'll tell you what though, it don't matter because at least a USA women's team. What's up?
There we go.
What's up?
Oh
women?
yeah, no, that's a wrap.
What's up,
That's
women?
a wrap, bro.
What's
That's
up,
a wrap.
women?
Hey,
What's up,
how
women?
Nigeria be doing? They
look at it.
Never mind.
I mean, honestly, the Nigerians women's national team did have a
They're not
decent
bad,
performance
yeah.
against
Okay.
the U.S.
They're not
women's.
bad.
Yeah, they I believe the final score was like 2-1. Actually went to the game, so they were good. They were decent.
okay.
Hey, shout out TCU's own Emily Alvarado, who's actually the goalkeeper for the Mexican national team for the women's side. Shout out that. I just had to.
Hey, turn up.
Sorry about that.
Double up.
Nice. Well, that wraps up our third quarter, y'all. Last opportunity to get some points. I'm sure y'all are very close. So just two things. The first one is earlier in the week, it was announced, or like last week, I guess, was announced that spectators would be barred from all Olympic events with Tokyo and the neighboring prefectures after a sharp rise of COVID cases occurring in the city. So, should the Olympics be postponed? Let's start with Devonte.
I know. Shout out to our producer Chance, just did a point count. My boy Luis is licking his chops. But I will say, when it comes to the Olympics, no, it does not need to be postponed. Do not cancel. You done already got the warm-ups going, everything. It needs to go. I mean, you already done had people there, so like you kind of have a little bit of income, but like just imagine what that would do to that country if they just stopped it. Like, I don't know. I mean, my thing is, yes, it might prevent, more COVID aspects of life and situations that'll happen, but I'm talking more like finances. I don't know. Like, I just wouldn't want to see that really crumble them like that, so I don't think it's necessary. But I mean, it does suck that they won't have spectators there because I don't know, it's just not spectators. But at the end of the day, you can watch it on TV. You'll be all right. You'll be good. So I don't think you should just ruin that for all these athletes that train so hard for like 4 years. Like, oh my God. Like, just imagine you already there trying to get qualified and then boom, hey, y'all, we done. It's a wrap. Like, can't do it. No, that's just not necessary at this moment. Handle our political side of things, please, Japan, and we can move on forward. So.
CJ, should the Olympics be postponed?
Because of really fucking poor ass vaccine rollout in Tokyo, like,
good Lord.
we've seen the 7-day new case average rise by 500 since like June 27th. That's bad. That's bad. That's scary for a city that is the most populated city in the world. And I think that is. There's something that like we should take into consideration. Yes, spectators not being allowed into the arena is something, but we still got locals who are gonna have to work, and be a part of this to make sure it goes. So, to me, I would say probably. I just know it's not. I mean, obviously it's not. Like, the IOC in Tokyo ain't gonna postpone shit. It's already been postponed for a year. They ain't gonna do that shit anymore. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Cori, what do you think?
Here's what I think.
Y'all wrong for this shit.
Y'all wrong. Everybody out here, CJ out here busting out the stats. CJ gonna be the most. You need to work for our team for stats, bro. And for real, they go, boy, he would leave the courtroom and be like, in this case, there was this stat. And y'all niggas is wrong.
I'm finna show y'all. No, just playing.
Exactly. Hey, we get CJ,
Not
bro.
going to jail.
You ever change your? I'm gonna hire you, bro.
Passion for me.
Nah, Luis going to jail. CJ gonna say Luis. Hey, you
All
need to
the
go in
facts
just
and
for a
no
little bit.
argument.
You need to go in just for a little bit.
Whoa.
All the facts and no argument.
Ding, ding,
Sir,
ding, ding, ding,
why
ding.
you throwing shit at me right now?
I'm about to say. All right, we need everybody. We need a team. We need Devonte for the streets, to answer the street. Like, hey, man, that's what I heard. Luis gonna come from the political standpoint. CJ gonna come from the factual standpoint. And me, I'm gonna just shoot the shit.
Y'all gonna
But
Cain in mind.
here's how I feel about the. Here's how I feel about the Olympics. They honestly should have. There's two ways that I think that they could have done this or should have done this in a while ago. Which was, they should have like, hey, we're gonna do this. COVID is gonna still be a thing. We should probably either let like a very limited amount, maybe like families in to just watch the sports. But also, they should have upped the TV contracts with all these countries and up production so that you can go a little bit more into like the backstory of all these athletes and everything else. Make it much more of a production. People are going to watch on TV because they can't attend. Like everybody watches the Olympics, especially if it's like something huge for your country. So I think if they would have spent more money on that, They would have kept it safe. For the athletes, it would have been a little bit whack because nobody's there, cool, whatever. But you're still running against your competition. The other way that they could have did it was like small bubbles in multiple different places. But that would have been crazy logistics, right? Super crazy logistics. But I think they could have done it besides the fact of like you have to, compete next to your competition. But most stuff it's measured in feet or in meters or it's time intervals, right? So it's not like you can't race against the clock. It just makes it better for you to race against somebody else or compete against somebody else. So obviously for sports like basketball and stuff like that, they would need to be in the same area or bubbled in the same area. But I do think they probably should have upped the video production side of it and really got those TV deals done for all these countries and went that route more so than like trying to do it how they would normally or regularly would do it.
Luis, what's your take?
I think I'm actually going to disagree with all of you guys and say it should be postponed. For the simple being that when a government is prioritizing a sporting event rather than attempting to vaccinate its citizens and prioritizing money over the health, I think that it's irresponsible. You're putting international players at jeopardy. You're contributing to potentially a spread if you don't have the right systems. People are still gonna have different opinions and beliefs on what's going on. There's a whole variant virus that elevated. I just think it's extremely irresponsible. I understand that athletes trained for 4 years and the world just kind of froze, but we have to be extremely responsible and extremely careful, otherwise we're just gonna continue this vicious cycle of just getting sick. Like, I just think it's just crazy that and I agree with Cori to point. If bubbles are in place, let's go for it. TV contracts, let's go for it. I think that should be an option if it's last resort, but the purpose of the Olympics is for spectators to be, or a sporting event is for spectators to be there. And that is the purpose of a sport. It's for fans to enjoy that. And I don't think at this time, I don't think it's very irresponsible. It would be extremely irresponsible.
Ah, man,
extremely irresponsible.
Because they postpone it already, right?
Yeah,
It's supposed to happen last year, right?
But Olympics have been canceled before.
I think it's harder to
cancel the Olympics.
Well, yeah, but like a world
life
war.
events cancel the Olympics.
Bro, you're comparing a
What
world
was that
war.
for? Hold on, where did that come from?
There's a whole pandemic globally where economies are being tarnished.
No.
Okay.
And that's why. Thank you,
got that
because you just hit
point?
the button you just hit the nail on the head, bro. My point is that one, you gonna bring up the world war as if like there's not like enemies and everything else in this, right? There's other like implications when it comes to war.
No, you're reframing my argument. That's not what I said.
You said that there was world war, right? I'm just saying that there's
No,
other
you did.
implications.
No, I said
I didn't make that shit
Olympics
up.
happened and world events happened, and therefore it can't be canceled and it has to be canceled.
That's why.
You said,
And utilize
but you
world
said
war
it was
as an
canceled.
example. You're adding more context that comes with world war.
No. I'm saying that there's implications to world war.
Exactly,
So you use
implications.
that, and all I'm trying to say is that it was a bad example. So okay, cool. I'm saying it's a bad example because you said economic hardship, right? And I think that when you're talking about the Olympics, we're not just talking about the athletes, bro. We talking about how money makes the world go around,
country,
right? We're talking about everything, and this is not a long time. Let me ask you a question. Do we know when the next 3 Olympics are and where they are?
Isn't the next one in China?
Right, where's the one after that, right? People are bidding 10, 12 years out, right?
Yeah.
Which means that the planning...
No, that's not Olympics. Is that World Cup? I can't remember. Hold on.
But the planning for these large events happen years before, sometimes 10 years before, right? And so you know the economic boost that it's going to have on your people. So you've already got contracts. You've already paid for people to build stuff. You've already done all these things where you're going to have to pay these people.
You can delay the event some more. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But can you though?
But you
like if you already like laid on stuff.
You can.
No, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying if you already did, and you got to a point where, because I'm not even gonna front. There was a point where Tokyo was straight. There was a point for a lot of us, and I say straight meaning like the virus seemed to be somewhat under control, somewhat. The variants out there going crazy, especially Delta variant kicking our asses in the United States. All I'm saying is that it's not just Tokyo that's playing in the Olympics, right?
And the reason
a bunch of other. Go ahead.
I would say 1 second. The reason why you can't postpone it because next year is the Winter Olympics and we're gonna be in China. Like you that's too much for the IOC to try to mitigate. You kind of have to have it this year. If you're gonna postpone it, maybe a couple weeks. But like you really are getting into like really, really fine territories as far as what Corey's saying. You 10 years into this planning on this shit. Like it's now or never.
It's go time.
And
Unless we in war.
That's what I'm saying. Unless we like legit, like you know what I mean. But also to your one point about like the Olympics being for spectators like to see it. Like we are still gonna see it. It's still gonna be on TV. It's not like we're not watching that shit. Like it's still gonna be.
Yeah,
something
we got technology.
The world's gonna be, enjoying this still. It's just like there's not gonna be people in the stands like the NBA bubble. Like it's still gonna be fun to watch. Like I ain't mad about it.
Tell that. Oh, that's funny. My bad. We went on long. You can go ahead. Next question.
Yeah, the last one I have for you. I'm sure you're gonna talk on this one too. And that's okay. The main event of the UFC 264 ended by way of doctor's stoppage after Conor McGregor broke his ankle. I saw you tweet about that, CJ. You're like, his ankle broke. Anyway, in his fight against Dustin Poirier. So after this disappointing loss, should he retire, McGregor? If not, what should his next fight be? That's interesting. Let's start with Corey.
I'm not gonna ever say that anybody should retire, but I think that he should go the more celebrity fighting route. That's just me. I think that his time as like
that's basically retirement, by the way.
Yes, but I'm saying,
CJ,
is it really retirement if you still? I don't see that shit. You can't be like, I'm gonna retire from rap, but you're still putting out albums. You can't be like, I'm retired from basketball, but I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You're retiring from like a certain level of it, but then going down to like a lower level. That's how I feel about Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna retire, stop boxing. Like, go get this money. Like, I want to see him fight and stuff, and like, I think he is a fighter. Like, I think Conor McGregor, that's like built into his DNA. But like I want to see him fight some of these people, like the Pauls of the world, the other kind of people who are trying to make it in there. I want to see that because it's going to be more of an entertaining draw than him getting this. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think he was actually winning in the first round anyway. I thought he was getting his ass kicked, even though he landed a couple of shots. But I thought he was getting his ass whooped. And then shout out to my boy. I say my boy. Shout out to Dak Prescott. He was in the house last night and he saw the leg. So I saw the look on his face. He like, damn, I know what you're going through. But apparently Dak good. They say he back, you know what I'm saying, looking better than ever. So shout out to my boy coming back from a nasty leg injury. So if Dak can do it, Connor, you can too. Boy. You said what?
I know you're not calling Dak your boy. You calling Dak your boy? Don't call Dak your boy.
Hey man, no. So here's the thing. Don't do that. Don't do that. I ain't never ever. And here's the thing about me being a fan, bro. I've never been a delusional fan. Like if you raw and you cold, I tell you cold. So I don't even though I hate the Cowboys, I thought Dak Prescott was playing some of the best football he ever played last year before his ankle took off. Like I've been saying that. You know that. No, I'm not above giving somebody their props. And I love to see a comeback story, especially if you have like a nasty injury or stuff like that. So I'm hoping this year he don't even come back, but he has like a better year. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope he come back and kill that shit. I still hope he lose behind the Eagles. So I hope that the Eagles still first. But I hope he have a good year in that too. So you know,
it's hard not to like.
He had to
that,
slip
bro.
in there.
It's really hard.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He work hard. He always do the right thing, and he good. So if you don't like him, I feel the same way. You just hate. I felt the same way about Tony Romo, but
All right, Conor McGregor. Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. My bad.
Devonte, should he retire? Should he not? What should he do?
Yes, I tweeted this last night. Conor, you are a legend. You have proven yourself. You have slept so many guys that has been so entertainment. I couldn't even get the word right. You don't have to apologize to absolutely no one. Like, bro, you have so many memories, bro. But hang it up and go see the kids, bro. Like, this is just... Or fight Jake Paul for that bag because you know you'll whoop him. Jake Paul, you not whooping Conor. I promise. Conor could be at his lowest and Conor still beating you up. So go get the bag. Follow the Mayweather path, bro. Chill out. Enjoy yourself. But that octagon, that real, bro, hang it up. It's these injuries are scary,
you looking
bro.
like Ronda Rousey.
You don't have to prove nothing, bro. What? You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. You know you can beat these people. You have beaten Dustin before. So what do you got to do? It's more like something he's gotten to prove to himself. And, you know, you can try to understand that as an athlete, but I don't know, man. Just for his health aspect, I really do think Conor needs to hang it up. He will always be entertaining, but just the care for him, man, he got to let it go. It sucks, but he definitely got to let it go. So,
Luis, what do you think?
I'm gonna actually agree with y'all.
Why do you always pause right before you talk?
I'm trying to breathe.
I agree with you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to breathe. Like she like, oh my god.
Your ass. What the fuck?
We need you to hustle, sir. There you go.
Bree said, it is 12 o'clock. I'm ready to get
It
done
is
with this shit.
12:50 a.m.
Like, why
over
you breathing
here.
before you speak, man?
Okay, sorry. Okay, what do you think?
I'll keep it short. I think he should retire. I think that you lost twice, and it's you talked all this trash, and you got humbled, and I'm sorry about your leg, but you sold your company for millions and millions of dollars, and I think you should enjoy retirement and build on that generational wealth and keep coaching some UFC fighters later down the road, or get into broadcasting. I'd love to see Connor do some commentary on some UFC. I think that would be some great. No,
Who the fuck is this guy?
Join it.
You can join the podcast.
There
Yeah.
you go. So that's what I think should happen, man. But
CJ, last point.
My
What do you
man's
think?
came out
Should he
trying
retire?
to. My man's came out trying to end the fight with a fucking spinning body kick.
Oh, he was so
A fucking
close to landing
spinning
it,
body
though.
kick, but he missed.
Yeah.
But he missed. That was listen. 66% of his losses came in his last 10 fights. That's bad, and that's a record. That is a streak that is like, it sticks with fighters. Like, you don't just lose that many in that time frame and just automatically bounce back. Especially after you break your fucking ankle. And I think personally, like, last night was probably the most embarrassing loss of his career. Even the Khabib fight. Like, I thought that fight was like pretty embarrassing.
He got jumped.
Guys. Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong, that shit was bad. But like last night, this man is on the ground with a broken fucking leg talking about somebody else's wife. And that to me was like the most, that to me is like the entire point of his, or entire part of his last 2 years has been more about entertainment and making a spectacle than worrying about the actual fucking fight itself. And if that's where you are in your career, as Cori said, go take that shit to the celebrity boxing ring, because you're gonna get your ass fucking slept in the UFC and professional boxing, I should say, and like actual professional boxing. Like, you're not gonna win matches when you're more worried about the show than the actual fight. And you know, I don't hate to say it because I don't really fucking like McGregor. he needs to step away from the UFC. Like, it's just not, the cats are not scared of McGregor.
They caught up
anymore.
They caught up.
They caught up.
They grew
But
up.
I will
They
say
grew
to
up.
your old point, or what you just said about like this worst, bro. Yesterday was more like, down bad today, are we? Like, he just down bad. Like, that's what it made me realize. But the worst, like, bro, that could be, bro. Ain't no way.
The Khabib,
I'm getting
Khabib
beat up,
was a
choked
bad
out.
loss.
I'm getting
Khabib
jumped.
was a bad loss.
My
Khabib
crew
was a bad
getting
loss.
beat up.
Khabib bad loss.
My kids watching this happen. No, bro, that's
I'll give you that.
worse.
No, I'll give you that.
That's worse. Worse by far.
I will say this. When Dustin said that karma was a mirror, bro, that was the coldest fucking line I've ever heard after a fight.
Chills,
I was
bro.
like,
that was
God
chills.
damn.
That
He
was
said
chills.
karma is a mirror, bro. That was it, bro. That was it. So yeah, bro. Get out the UFC at least. Get the fuck out the UFC.
Nah, just do some commentary.
Call Jake, bro. Call Jake. That's all.
Jake, I need my money,
Somebody
Jake.
is not close to the mic for that. That's game, y'all. And I believe, according to our producer, Chance, Luis.
Hey,
Luis won.
Hey,
Plot twist.
like, we need to recount. No.
Nah, she was handing out points for
41,
population.
42.
For population.
Oh, yeah.
When she hit that
Hey.
boy, I was so upset.
Well, sometimes I'm like, oh, they said something good, but I was like, oh, I missed it. So I'm like,
First
I gotta
off-
like work it back
first
in,
off,
you know?
The point that was made.
And
Listen,
oh,
I need to know who came in second.
Listen, just celebrate the win, all right?
happy
CJ
for
and
him.
Corey, y'all tied for second, right? 1 point behind Luis. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't want to
But
win.
hey,
'Cause
okay.
They hating.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? CJ looking at his phone
Luis,
all of a
what's your-
sudden, like he got messages.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna hate. If
Luis.
you won, you know what I'm saying?
Get this last
Go
take,
ahead,
bro.
Louis.
Wrap it up, Luis.
Man, honestly, I have to bring it back to Messi. One of the most beautiful moments that I saw yesterday at Copa America was when he was holding his little medallion and he was FaceTiming his family and his, just in tears because he finally brought a championship to Argentina. And if you know much about Latin American soccer, it's really not often that Argentina wins international past to Maradona. So for a GOAT to bring it back, I think it's really nice. And being from Venezuela myself, man, it's just brings me some joy.
So
Before we end, can we please say, can we give
Yeah.
a round of applause to Bree for getting this done in a whole other country?
Oh.
Yes,
Another
yes,
She's in a whole
ma'am.
other country
Yes,
right
ma'am.
now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Goated.
Oh
Go ahead,
my,
though.
y'all
Wrap
are
it
too
up then.
nice. I don't know why y'all keep me here. But sadly, I won't be here next week. I'll be traveling back. But
Neither will I.
y'all are still gonna be here. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Might look a little different. But thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining. Please comment, like, subscribe, share on any and all platforms. We're on all of them. But yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Don't forget to tune in. Try not to foul out.